Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. I'm sitting here looking through all of your posts this morning before I get to my workout. And first of all, just want to say, amazing job. I saw a bunch of people post day 10 progress photos from like day 1 to day 10, and I'm just blown away at how much you guys are crushing it. So keep that up. But there was two things I wanted to talk to you guys about in regards to self-care and things that you might be feeling that you might think are one thing, but they're actually something else. So somebody had posted that in the last day or two they were feeling a little nauseated, a little bit of a headache, and sort of hungry in the 2 to 3 hour window, and should they bump up brackets? And what I want to point out to you guys, and why I talk about self-care being so important, is that sometimes these things that we're feeling, they have nothing to do with your food, okay? You have to remember, we're lifting really heavy weights, okay? Like we're in week 2, so we're in our 3x10. So we're lifting heavier. You're also holding your body weight up in plank a lot, right? So your neck and your shoulders can get really tight and tense. And if your upper body, your neck, your shoulders, your upper back get really tight and tense, it can cause a headache, which can cause nausea. So don't always assume that what you're feeling is automatically related to the food and that you absolutely have to jump up a bracket or something like that, because that might not be the case. And that's why I talk about self-care and why it's so important about making sure that you're foam rolling a lot, especially if you can't go get a massage regularly. Foam rolling is super important. So like foam rolling your upper back, foam rolling your sides, like under your armpit and that sort of thing, stretching out the neck a little bit, making sure you're doing all of that, because like I said, there were plenty of times in the program where my neck and upper back would get so tight that I was like, oh my God, like the headache was right behind my eyes. So make sure you're keeping that loose too. So pay attention to that again, that the only time I want you bumping up a food bracket is if you're like famished, starving the whole day, no matter what. Not just, yeah, I'm getting a little hungry in the 2 to 3 hour window. You should be getting hungry in the 2 to 3 hour window. That's the whole point. But if you're famished, starving all the time, that's different. Another thing to be aware of is anybody really hot at night when you sleep? For me, whenever I'm working out really hard like this, it's just awful. Like my metabolism revs up so fast that I sleep like it's January, and I either sleep with the air conditioning on or the window open usually, because I'm so hot. Because at night is when your body is repairing. Do you guys remember me saying all the time that when you sleep is when all the magic happens? When you sleep is when your body repairs and rebuilds all that muscle that you broke down during the day. And so it's working actually quite hard while you're asleep. So if you notice that you're hot at night, that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It means your body's working really hard to repair itself and your metabolism is revving up. So just another thing to be aware of in terms of what your body's going through right now. I see a lot of questions coming in. Let me look at these really quickly. Somebody said they bumped up their chiropractic visits to twice a week. They feel much better. That's great. I saw my PT once a week, and then I also have another specialist that I see that I would see once a week when we were filming the workouts, and I actually still see them both now. Not quite as much, but I do see them both. Waking up so hungry in the morning, this is new for me in the last week. Yes, she said, I'm going to take a leap and guess it's the program. Yeah, it's your metabolism revving up, and like I just said, your body works really hard all night long to repair itself, and so when you wake up, it needs new fuel because it used it all to repair everything. Yes, that's the beauty of it. What is a good size foam roller? I don't know the sizes off the top of my head, you guys. I have a couple. I have like a full length one, like the really long one, and then I have a smaller one that I travel with. But either one is good. You just want to make sure that you can maneuver on it. And I personally like the ones that are really firm, but I don't like the ones with the spikes on them. For me, the ones with the spikes just hurt too bad. Okay. Do you recommend foam rolling every day? Oh yeah, I foam roll every day, sometimes twice a day. So foam rolling is one of those things you can do anytime you want. Like anytime you're sore, jump on that foam roller. And you don't have to make it a 20-minute session. If your glutes are really sore, sit down and roll your glutes for 60 seconds. It's fine. If you feel like your calf muscles are really tight, roll them out. If you feel your upper back locking up, lay on it really fast. You don't have to do the entire foam rolling series. You can do whatever you're feeling at that moment. And somebody said they're obsessed with the foam roller now. Yeah, it's amazing. Louise says she's really emotional today. It came out of nowhere. She really struggled to go for it today. It can happen. It can happen, you guys. Lots of things are going to come up as we go through this. A lot of times, okay, first of all, there's been so many workouts that I've cried through, not because something was wrong necessarily. Here's the thing. We go through life and we suppress our emotions, right? Like life happens and you're like, I'm too busy to deal with this emotion right now. And so we bury it. And we're just like, I'm going to shove that away. Okay, I was really good at this for a very long time. It's not very healthy to do, but it happens. And here's what happens. When you suppress that emotion, you suppress it into your muscles and into your tissue, into your body, okay? True story, that's just what happens. Your body holds it. It's tension, right? We feel that. So like when you're stressed, you know you're holding it. You can feel it. Like sometimes you feel it in your stomach, sometimes you feel it in your shoulders or neck. When you work out really hard, like really hard, and you push yourself the way we're pushing ourselves in these workouts, you're working out so hard that you can no longer physically hold that emotion in. And that's when the tears come. So it'll happen, right? It'll come out of nowhere because all of a sudden you're pushing yourself so hard that your body has no choice but to release this emotion that's built up inside of it. So don't look at it as a bad thing. Look, it's like a cleanse. Your body needs to release that. So let it out. It's fine. Like I said, so I can't even tell you guys, in the gym with all the people around that I would know, I'd be working out so hard when I was training for competitions and the tears would be rolling down my face and people would come up to me and they'd be like, what's wrong? Is everything okay? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm fine. It's just hard. And I wasn't crying because like the workout was hurting or anything. It was just emotion that had to come out. So it is what it is. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it, make you feel like you're failing, because that's not at all what's happening. It's just the release that your body needs. So enjoy it. Let's talk about how to stay on track while traveling. You guys, okay, I'll get to that in 1 second. Do I recommend taking Tylenol or ibuprofen for neck pain? Not necessarily. It's not bad. I just try not to take meds unless I absolutely need to. I would much rather you guys like stretch out, like stretch and foam roll or get a massage or something like that, because, taking ibuprofen, taking Tylenol, like the more you do that, it wears on your stomach, and Lord knows we all have more stomach issues than anybody knows about, and taking just over-the-counter medicine like this is a lot of times what is destroying our gut and our gut health. And our gut health is super duper important. So if you absolutely need it, can't function without it, then yeah, take it. But if you could just, like I said, foam roll or stretch, that's going to be better. Yes, relaxing your face and your shoulders when you're working out, you guys. You always hear me say, don't grip. Okay, let's see. Extra stretching. Yeah, you're going to need extra stretching. Look, we don't do a ton of stretching at the end of the workouts because the goal was to keep them under an hour. And a lot of times we push right up until that hour mark. So sometimes you got to stretch a little more on your own. All right. AAA and being hypermobile. I'm having tons of trouble with my legs and arm joints popping out and in the joint. Okay, Shannon, so you're super mobile in your joints. Just watch your range of motion. Make your range of motion a little bit smaller, and that popping should stop. So you're really going to just need to control it and make sure you're working your muscle and not your joint. So that popping tells me that more than likely you're sort of disengaging the muscle and working your joint more. So really try to focus on the squeeze in the muscle. Okay. Let me see. Anything else? You guys are super chatty this morning. I love it. Okay. Wait, what was that question? Oh, somebody said they thought their night sweats were perimenopause. I mean, it could be, but chances are, if you didn't have it before and it just kicked in with the workout, that it's your metabolism and your body repairing itself. So enjoy that. Jasmine said, yes, sometimes I wake up like, oh my God, I can't take it. I need air. Yeah, you guys, last night it was Same thing here. I was like kicking covers off me. I was like pulling layers off. I was like, why is it so hot? But it's a good sign. That means your body's working. Okay. So really quickly, I guess, let me see that you guys are all chatting about that. So that's great. So I just wanted to point those couple things out to you guys. Wait, hold on. Got one more question. What about dizziness? Woke up very dizzy today. Also that time of the month. Not sure if that's related. Look, dizziness always makes me a little bit leery. Like, you got to be a little bit careful if you're starting to feel dizzy all the time. But when it's that time of the month, that could be an iron deficiency, so you might want to have that checked, because that could just be eat a little more red meat or take an iron supplement. Make sure you stand up really slowly, drink a lot of water. If you need to take it slower in your workouts, that's fine. But, that time of month can really throw all of us. And believe it or not, watch, you guys will sync up. We had it happen with the original test group. This might be too much information for all the guys that are on right now. But my background cast was like synced up to me, and then the coaches going through the test group with us all ended up synced up, I guess, on my cycle, or however it was. It was very interesting. I was like, somebody should do a study on that we managed to do it through the TV. But it happened. So not sure what's going to happen, but might happen again. Okay, so really quickly, yes, everybody's laughing at me. Yeah, I like to share too much information all the time. Let me talk about traveling really quick, and then I got to go get my workout in because I ate 30 minutes ago, so I'm dancing tight on my window here for me. So when it comes to traveling, you guys, the biggest thing I always say is you just have to be prepared. Like, I just traveled to the UK last week, and that was definitely a challenge, right? It's a super long flight, and then we're in a country where I'm completely upside down on time. It's like an 8-hour time difference from London to Los Angeles, so eating at different times. I was in a hotel that had very minimal weights, so getting my workout in. But the first thing I did, so when we landed, well, first of all, I packed snacks for the airplane, because no matter what, airplane food is just not great. That's my opinion. They don't have what we need. So I packed snacks. Like, I had apples, I had bananas, I cut up some veggies and had them in a little Ziploc bag. You can carry all that. The important thing is that if you're going overseas, you know that their customs won't let you bring fruit and vegetables into the country, so you got to eat them on the plane and be done with it. But when we landed at London Heathrow, people had said to me before I left, they're like, "Ooh, it's hard to find a vegetable." And I was like, okay. Seemed a little odd to me, but that's what I heard, and I had never been. So we land, and there was like a little grocery store in the airport, and they had all this like fresh produce. So I was like, wait, time out, we're going in here. And I went in there, and I bought like a package of bell peppers, I bought a package of asparagus, I bought a package of green beans, because I knew my hotel room had a mini fridge and like a mini stove top, because we were in like a little like apartment that we were staying in at this hotel. And I bought a little bit of fruit. So I had snacks for my hotel room. So just having that stuff on hand meant that if I was in a bind, at least I had healthy fruits and vegetables on hand until I could order. And then I just looked ahead. Like, if I knew we were going to be out walking around, I made sure I ate. My brother and sister know what the deal is. My sister's on the program too, so they know we got to eat every couple hours. And we would just look, as we would go to restaurants, we would look, like, what's the menu say? And Kaylee and I would always be reading, like, we're like, okay, they've got salad and they've got vegetables and they got a protein. We're good. We can eat here. Because like my brother's a chef. He's in Europe. He wants to eat anything and everything that's like amazing to Europe. And Kaylee and I are like, we need vegetables and we need protein. So you take an extra minute, you look at the menu, you compromise. That's what it is. Like, her and I would get up a little bit earlier than Bobby, and we'd go down and get our workout in, and then we'd come back to the room and we're like, okay, now we get dressed and go out for the day. So it's totally possible to travel. You just have to be prepared. Look, I made some sacrifices. I didn't, every time my brother had a beverage, an alcoholic adult beverage, I didn't have one. I was like, I had a couple glasses of wine when we were there. It was Europe, and I wasn't going to not. So, we had one night where we had this amazing 7-course meal at this beautiful French restaurant in Paris. I ate it. I wasn't going to not eat it. But that was my choice. And I've gone through 80-day obsession twice now, actually. Well, more than that, really. I went through the whole development process, the whole filming process, and now this with you guys. So for me, I know where I can make my choices and say like, yeah, more often than not, I'm going to be dialed in, but like this nice dinner, I'm going to enjoy, or this thing over here, I'm going to enjoy. You guys are on it, so hopefully you stick to it, right? Because I want you to show yourself what you can do and what you can really stick to. But I'm just being completely honest with you guys about like my experiences when I travel. It'll be really interesting. We're all going to come off 80-day obsession and be in Mexico together. So, Lord knows what we'll be eating there. I can't wait to see what everybody does, because I'm going to come around and be like, what are you eating? Is that pizza and french fries? Put it down. We didn't work hard for 80 days to eat pizza and french fries on this trip. I'm kidding. I won't give you guys a hard time. So anyways, that's the deal. Oh, somebody said they're sick right now. I'm sorry. I am too. I managed to do the workouts, but it is very difficult to eat everything that's on my plan E. I feel very bad if I force myself to eat if I'm not hungry. Look, you guys, when you're sick, it's very different, okay? When you're sick, it depends. I mean, I don't know, do you have the flu? Whatever that might be. I have a cold, so for me, eating isn't hard. Like, I don't not feel hungry. I slow my workouts down a little bit. Like, I might have to pause, take a little bit longer on my workouts. But being sick is not like quitting, right? Like, if you're sick, you're sick, and your body needs time to rest and heal. So you have to be the judge of how sick you are and how you feel. And so if you're so sick that you just don't feel like eating, I mean, I'm not telling you to force your containers down like and make yourself feel worse, especially if you have the flu. That's not going to feel good. So take your, like if you're sick, adjust accordingly. You know, maybe for your vegetables, you want vegetable soup. I ate soup a lot this week. There's a really healthy grocery store by us that makes it fresh. So I got like, they have a soup called Power Greens, and it's like kale and spinach and broccoli, and it's just done with vegetable broth, and it's amazing. So I was eating that like twice a day as my veggies, because I'm like, it's warm, it's soothing, it sits lighter in my stomach. So you do what you got to do when you're sick. I still want you to eat healthy. I don't want you to eat unhealthy. So when you eat, and remember, what you're putting in your body is going to help how fast you get over being sick anyways. So be aware of that. But sometimes when you're sick, you got to adjust, okay? So don't beat yourself up if that happens. All right, I am going to go get my AAA workout in. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Keep up the hard work. You're doing awesome, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.